I'm thinking of doing these talks every morning just to clear my mind a bit and to bring a little bit of clairvoyance to my mornings. Today I wanted to talk about creativity. I don't feel like it's talked about enough, or as much as I'd like for it to be talked about. I feel like the effort that you put forward isn't always equally, it doesn't always pay off, man. The effort into certain creative practices don't always pay off. But that shouldn't discourage you from creating. Because I realize that there's something special in the heart of a man that creates. Is like you could write for 30 minutes a day, you could draw, you could pick like any subject really, and if you put more than 30 minutes a day in it, I'm not gonna say that you're gonna fucking blow up on TikTok or some shit, or you're gonna make like $5 million off of it, but you will gain some calmness and solace in your heart from a consistent schedule of creation. And I don't feel like that's talked about enough. You know, I don't feel like that's discussed. The spiritual value of putting your mind towards something. You could even fucking bodybuild. You know, people pretend like bodybuilding isn't a form of creating. You're creating a new body for yourself. So what I'm saying is creativity has a much wider and bigger net than it's usually portrayed as. And what are you not being creative in? What could you put your creativity to right now instead of jerking off? Instead of scrolling all day or watching Family Guy? What could you do right now that would fulfill you pretty much all day, just from 30 minutes of work? I'm realizing that shooting these videos does that for me. So I'm gonna shoot at least one video a day and post it and see what kind of spiritual benefits I get from that. But I've learned that when you look for progression in your the things you're being creative in, the things that you're creating in, when you look for progression in that rather than monetary gain or fame or any type of social progression, it's so good for the soul. It's so feeding to the soul. It almost unplugs you from this thing we call the Matrix. We like calling it the Matrix, but it's really just a network of distracted, overstimulated humans. That's what the internet is. I feel like the internet is just a culmination of distracted, overstimulated humans. And that's why it's so negative, and that's why we see the worst of it. But that's not reality. I'm watching somebody fix their car across the street. And everybody goes about their business. Everybody goes and lives their life outside of the internet. And it's funny, it's like, I feel like my generation and the generation after mine is gonna have a small problem dealing with unplugging from the internet and unplugging from social networks, because our whole lives have been built around social networks that it's pioneer shit to just put a phone down. It's like you're Gandhi, you're God on earth if you put your phone down for more than 3 hours and go about your business. It's like there's no one who does that anymore in my generation. My wife does that. My wife goes on long walks and she likes doing hobbies and things. But yeah, okay. What I'm saying basically is, if you feel like it's over, if you feel like life's whooping your ass. If you feel like anything negative that you don't want to feel, back away from it. Find a hobby and put your all into that hobby. And it might not be economically freeing for you yet. It might not be like, fucking ultra fulfilling, like if you fucking got a girlfriend or became a billionaire, but it will dissolve that hardness in your heart. And once that hardness in your heart is dissolved and you have a natural human heart that can feel other people's emotions and deal with other people, when you're able to look someone in the eyes again and not feel uncomfortable and look away, or when you're able to look someone in the eye again, you'll know that you'll know that you climbed out of that mental hole, because you're really just in the mental hole. I think they said somewhere around, like, if you don't socialize for 3 months or something, you get brain damage. I forgot what that study was, but it's true. If you're not going to the grocery store and, like, having a nice little conversation with the cashier and telling people you like their sweater and going about you, something's wrong with you. Something's a little wrong with you. I don't think you're tapped into the full scope of what humanity is. Humanity is the interaction with other beings. That's what being a human is interacting with other humans. You can't cut that process out with the internet. So get to creating something, get to exploring your talents and what you're good at creating, and get the fuck off social media for a bit, and bring your soul back. Because once you soften your heart again and you become a regular human again, you'll be able to see human opportunities. You'll be able to see human interactions in a different way than just trying to get home or get this person to scan your items or whatever. Like, you'll realize at that moment that they're probably creating something at home too, and that they probably have passions too, and not every human deserves to be heard and talked to some extent. I feel like our generation is just too socially inept, and it's because we don't create anything, and all we spend most of our time doing is scrolling and observing what other people created. So you gotta soften your heart. You gotta get real autistic about something, man. Especially the men in this world. You gotta get real autistic about something, dude. And you gotta just soften your heart, man. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that you have no passions for things in this world. It's not okay that you're not attached to this world. It's not okay that you carry this level of inadequacy in your soul, in your heart. It's not okay. And if no one's telling you that, I don't know why. If your dad's not telling you that, I don't know why. Go buy a fucking shotgun and go hunt a deer or something. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't give a fuck if you go in the woods and you start carving trees. You need to get the fuck off your phone. This shit is not okay. If you're not creating something, you're consuming porn and you're scrolling on social media, you need to wake up, figure out one task to do today and do it. You need to soften your heart. Shit is disgusting. And I feel like a lot of men's parents are failing them by just walking past their room in the morning and doing nothing about it. And hearing their kids fucking just sound like incels and like they're socially retarded, and just accepting like that's just the generation. If you're a parent and your kid is socially inept, as long as you keep your kid hooked to the internet doing nothing, is how long that brain damage will take to get out of them. So if you want a 45-year-old loser of a son, keep letting him scroll and build no hobbies, no creative purposes, no creative pursuits. That is the quickest way to kill a human soul and to harden their heart. You have to create things. If you don't create things, you're created by this environment. So go find a hobby, even if it's going in the fucking woods and digging up worms. Go find a hobby, find a creative pursuit, and soften your fucking heart. Peace out.